walking into a job interview. It's for this really great job in an office where everyone speaks English.
Right.
You sit down, and the interviewer smiles at you across the table. And they ask the most common icebreaker question in the whole world.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah. They ask, so walk me through a typical day in your life. What does your day look like?
It is such a common question.
Or, imagine you are at a coffee shop. You just met a new friend who speaks English, and they ask you, what do you normally do on the weekends?
Yeah.
Would you know exactly what to say to them? Like, could you answer smoothly without freezing up?
Well, that's a wonderful situation to imagine, actually, because, those moments happen all the time in real life.
Exactly.
Talking about your daily routine is often the very first real conversation you will have with an English speaker.
Yeah.
It's how we connect with people.
Yeah, it really is.
Because when you can describe your normal day, you unlock the ability to share your life with friends, with classmates, and, well, even in a professional job interview.
Exactly. And that is why we are here today. So welcome to our deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
If you are listening and you are learning English and you want to feel truly confident talking about your daily habits well, you are in the perfect place.
You really are.
I'm your host, and today we have a very clear mission for you. We are going to give you the exact words, the exact grammar rules, and the secrets to sounding completely natural when you describe your day.
And we are going to do it step by step. So if you are at an A2 level, meaning you know some basic English but want to get better at putting it all together, this deep dive is made specifically for you.
Absolutely.
We will use simple, clear language. We will avoid confusing slang.
Yeah.
But we'll also, treat you like an adult who wants to truly understand why English works the way it does.
I love that. We are going to figure out the why, not just the what.
Exactly.
So let's start at the very beginning. We keep using this phrase, daily routine. But what exactly does that mean?
Well, a daily routine is the pattern of your normal day. It's the sequence of activities you do every single day, or almost every day. I mean, it's the habits that make up your life.
Like drinking coffee.
Yes, exactly. Making a cup of coffee every morning is part of a routine. Taking the bus to work is part of a routine.
It's basically the story of you. It's what you do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, it's the rhythm of your life.
But, from my own experience learning new things, before we can tell a good story, we need the right words. Like, we need the vocabulary first.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
You can think of vocabulary words as the building blocks of a house.
Oh, I like that.
You really can't build a strong sentence if you do not have the right words first. So we're going to walk through a typical day, right from the morning to the night.
Okay, sounds good.
And along the way, we're going to learn 10 very important core phrases.
And we aren't just going to give you a boring list either.
No, definitely not.
As we move through the day, we will introduce a new phrase. We will define exactly what it means, give you a real-world example, and then use it in a full sentence.
Perfect.
So let's start with the morning. The sun comes up. The alarm on your phone starts ringing loudly. It's time for our first phrase.
Okay, the very first phrase of the day is wake up.
Wake up. Now, I have a question right away, actually.
Sure.
A lot of people say get up. So is wake up the exact same as get up?
That is a fantastic question. And, well, it's a difference that confuses a lot of learners.
Yeah, I hear it confused all the time.
Let's define wake up carefully.
So?
Wake up means the exact moment you stop sleeping.
Okay.
It's the moment your brain turns on and you open your eyes.
Uh-huh.
You are still in bed. You are still under the warm blankets.
Yeah.
But you are no longer asleep. That is waking up.
Oh, I see. So I can wake up, look at my phone, and stay in bed for like 20 more minutes.
Exactly. And when you finally throw the blankets off and physically leave the bed,
Yeah.
Standing on your feet, that action is getting up.
Oh.
But the very first step is always to wake up.
That makes so much sense. So let's look at an example. If someone asks me about my morning, my example would be, I wake up at 7 a.m.
Perfect. Now let's put that phrase into a full sentence to show a habit.
All right.
You could say, I usually wake up early on weekdays.
I usually wake up early on weekdays. When native speakers say this, it sounds so smooth.
It does, yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like two separate words, wake and up. It kind of sounds like one long word.
That is a really great listening tip, actually.
Yeah.
In natural spoken English, we link words together.
Right.
Because wake ends in a consonant sound, and up starts with a vowel sound. We just push them together. It sounds like wake up.
Oh, wake up. Yeah. If you are listening to us right now, try saying that out loud wherever you are. Wait up.
Wake up.
I wake up at 7. It just feels much more natural.
It really does.
Okay, so my eyes are open. I am awake. Now I actually leave the bed. I go to the bathroom. What happens next?
Now it is time for our second important phrase. And the phrase is get ready.
Get ready. So what does this actually include? Like if I'm brushing my teeth, am I getting ready?
Yes, let's define it. Getting ready is a general phrase. It means preparing yourself before you leave your home.
Okay, so it's a lot of things.
Right, it's not just one action.
Mm.
It is a collection of many small actions. So when you brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower, brush your hair, and put on your clothes, which is called getting dressed, all of those small activities together mean you are getting ready.
Wow, that is a very useful phrase.
It is.
Because instead of listing every single boring thing I do in the bathroom, I can just summarize it all with one phrase.
Exactly. It saves time and it sounds very natural.
Yeah.
An English speaker will rarely say, I wake up, then I shower, then I dry my hair, then I put on socks, then I put on a shirt.
Right. That is way too much detail.
They will just say, I wake up, and then I get ready.
So could you give me an example of how I would use that in real life?
Sure. A simple example is, I get ready for work at 7:30.
Okay. And if I was telling a coworker about my morning routine, I might use it in a sentence like this. I get ready quickly because I am always late.
That is a very realistic sentence.
Well, I know from experience.
Now, after you are dressed and ready, you usually go to the kitchen. You are hungry.
Very humble.
This brings us to our third phrase, which is a meal. The phrase is, have breakfast.
Have breakfast. Now, I actually have to push back on this one.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I am putting food in my mouth. I am chewing. I am swallowing. The action is eating. So why in the world do English speakers say have breakfast? Why don't we just say eat breakfast?
That is a brilliant observation, and honestly, it is something almost every English learner asks.
I'm not surprised.
First, let me be very clear. Saying, I eat breakfast is not wrong.
Okay.
It is grammatically correct, and if you say it, everyone will understand you perfectly. But in natural everyday English, native speakers strongly prefer to use the verb have when talking about meals.
But why? It seems so weird.
It's just one of the quirks of the language. Using have-in makes the meal sound more like an experience or an event,
Right.
rather than just the physical action of chewing food.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, we use it for all three major meals of the day. We have breakfast in the morning, we have lunch in the afternoon, we have dinner in the evening. It just flows better in conversation.
That is really interesting. So it is about the experience of the morning. You sit down with your coffee, you read the news, you eat your toast. You're having breakfast.
Exactly. Let's look at an example. You could say, I have breakfast at home.
And here is a full sentence to describe a habit. I usually have coffee and eggs for breakfast.
Another quick pronunciation tip for our listeners, actually.
Please.
Listen to the word breakfast. Even though it looks like the words break and fast pushed together, we do not pronounce it breakfast.
All right.
The first part sounds like breck, and the second part sounds like bust. Breakfast.
Breakfast, yeah. I usually have breakfast at 8 a.m.
Perfect.
I love these little tips. They make such a big difference for learners. Okay, so we were fed, we are dressed, we leave the house, now we are traveling. What is the next phrase?
Well, depending on your age and your life, phrase number 4 is either go to work or go to school.
Go to work. So this describes the journey, right?
Yes, let's define it. Go to work means you are traveling. You are moving from your house to your office or to your university.
Like the commute.
Exactly. It is the time you spend on the bus, on the subway train, walking on the sidewalk, or driving in your car. It is the commute.
Okay, let me give an example of that. I could say I go to work by bus.
Yes. Notice the small word by.
By bus.
Right. In English, when we talk about transportation, we use by for most vehicles, by bus, by train, by car.
What if I walk?
If you use your feet, you say on foot.
Okay, got it. Let's put the phrase into a full sentence. I go to work at 8 o'clock every morning.
Now, hold on a second. I need to ask you a question about that sentence.
Uh-oh. Did I mess up?
Not exactly. But you said, I go to work at 8 o'clock. Does that mean you are sitting at your desk, typing on your computer at exactly 8 o'clock?
No. It takes me 45 minutes on the bus to get to my office. I leave my house at 8, so I'm traveling at 8.
And that is exactly why we need phrase number 5.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Phrase number 5 is start work.
Start work. Okay, so how is that different from go to work?
Let's define it. Start work is the exact time you actually begin doing your job.
Right.
Your coat is off, your computer's on, and you are officially working. There's a big difference between the journey and the action.
Definitely.
You might go to work at 8:00, meaning you leave your house, but you do not start work until 9:00 when you arrive at the office.
Wow, this is so important for job interviews.
It really is.
If an interviewer asks, what time can you start work, and you say 8 o'clock, they expect you at the desk at 8. They do not mean what time will you get on the bus.
Precisely. You have to be very careful with the difference
Yes,
there.
sir.
Let's hear an example for start work.
An example would be, I start work at 9 a.m.
And if you are a student, you can use a sentence like this. I start classes at 8:30 in the morning.
Excellent. So, it's the middle of the morning. I have been staring at my computer for 3 hours. My eyes hurt. I need a coffee. I need to stand up. What is the phrase for this?
The phrase we use is phrase number 6, take a break.
Take a break. I love taking a break. Let's define this one.
Taking a break means having a short period of rest during your workday or your study time. It means you temporarily stop what you are doing.
Right.
You might walk to the kitchen, drink some water, talk to a coworker about sports, or just step outside for some fresh air.
So it's not going home.
No, it is not the end of the day. It is just a pause.
That is a great way to explain it. It is a pause button for your day.
Let's look at an example. You could say, I take a break at noon.
And a full sentence could be, I always take a short break after lunch to walk outside.
That sounds like a very healthy routine, honestly.
I try.
Now, eventually the afternoon passes. The sun starts to go down. The workday is over. This brings us to phrase number 7, finish work.
Finish work. The absolute best time of the day. Let's define it.
Finish work simply means ending your work day. You are completely done with your professional responsibilities for the day.
Yes.
You shut down your computer, you say goodbye to your coworkers, and you are free to go home.
So just like start work, this is about the exact time the action stops.
Yes. For example, I finish work at 5 p.m.
And for a student, they might use this sentence, I finish school at 3 p.m. on Tuesday.
Now, we travel back home.
Yep, back on the bus.
You are back in your house, and your stomach is making noises again. It is time for the evening meal. Phrase number 8 is make dinner.
Make dinner. Okay, let's define it. It means preparing the food you and your family will eat in the evening. You are in the kitchen, chopping vegetables, boiling water, preparing the meal.
Exactly.
Now, let me ask you something. A lot of my friends who are learning English ask me if they should say make dinner or cook dinner. Which one is right?
The wonderful truth is that they are both completely acceptable.
Oh, really?
Yes, both phrases are very natural. You can say, I make dinner or I cook dinner.
Is there any tiny difference between them? Like any rule at all?
Well, if we want to be very precise, cooking usually implies using heat. You cook soup on the stove. You cook chicken in the oven.
Okay, that makes sense.
Making is a bit broader. If you are just tossing a cold salad or making a sandwich, you are making dinner, but you might not say you are cooking it because there is no heat.
Oh, I see.
However, in casual conversation, native speakers use them interchangeably. Don't stress about it. Pick the one you like best.
That is very reassuring. So an example would be, I make dinner every evening.
And a full sentence could be, I usually cook pasta for dinner because it is easy.
Delicious. Okay, the kitchen is clean, the food is eaten. Now I move to the living room, I sit on the sofa. What am I doing?
You are doing phrase number 9, relax.
Relax, such a nice word. Let's define it.
To relax means to rest and enjoy your free time. You are not working. You are not rushing around the house. Your mind and your body are calm.
What kinds of activities count as relaxing?
It is different for everyone.
True.
For some people, relaxing means watching a movie on the sofa. For others, it means reading a book, listening to soft music, or even doing some light stretching or yoga.
Basically whatever feels good.
Right. Whatever lowers your stress, that is relaxing.
Let me give an example. I relax by watching TV.
And here is a sentence. I like to relax after work by reading a good book.
Finally, the day is coming to an end. We're tired. This brings us to phrase number 10, our final core vocabulary phrase. Go to bed.
Go to bed. Now, pay close attention here because this is another place where learners often get confused.
Oh, definitely.
What is the difference between go to bed and go to sleep?
I admit, even I get tripped up on this sometimes when trying to explain it. Aren't they basically the exact same thing?
They are closely related, but they describe two entirely different actions. Let us break it down clearly. Go to bed is a physical action. It means you walk into your bedroom, you pull back the blankets, and you place your physical body onto the mattress. You're in the bed.
Okay, physical action. I am physically located in the bed.
Exactly. But are you sleeping right away? Probably not.
No, usually not.
When you go to bed, you might turn on a small lamp and read a chapter of a book. You might scroll through social media on your phone. You might talk to your partner. You are in bed, but you are still awake.
Ah, I see the difference now. And go to sleep.
Go to sleep is not a physical location. It is a biological state.
Wow, okay.
It is the exact moment your brain shuts down, your eyes close, and you lose consciousness. You begin to dream. That is going to sleep.
That is such a clear explanation. You go to bed first, and then later you go to sleep.
Right.
Let me give an example to show the difference. I go to bed at 11 p.m., but I read for an hour, so I go to sleep at midnight.
That is a flawless example. You perfectly demonstrated the difference. And a simple sentence using our new phrase would be, I usually go to bed early on Sundays.
Fantastic. Take a deep breath, everyone. We did it.
We made it through the day.
We walked through an entire day. We now have our building blocks. We have 10 excellent phrases. Wake up, get ready, have breakfast, go to work, start work, take a break, finish work, make dinner, relax, and go to bed.
You should feel very proud if you're following along. But we have a new challenge.
What's that?
Having the words is like having a pile of bricks. A pile of bricks is not a house.
No, it's not.
If you just say, I wake up, I have breakfast, I go to work well, it sounds a bit like a robot.
It really does. It sounds like a computer reading a list.
Yeah.
We need rules to put the words together properly. We need the grammar to build our house.
Exactly. And when we talk about daily routines, there is one supreme grammar rule. It is the king of routines.
Ooh, the king!
It is called the present simple tense.
The present simple tense. Why do we use this specific tense? I know there is the past tense, the future tense, the continuous tense. So why the present simple?
We use the present simple tense to talk about facts, habits, and routines. It is the perfect tense for things that happen regularly.
Okay.
We are not talking about what you did yesterday. We are not talking about what you will do tomorrow. We are talking about the pattern of your life.
The everyday stuff.
Right. Because your routine happens again and again, day after day. The present simple is the tool we use to describe it.
That makes total sense. So let's explain how to build a sentence in the present simple tense. Let's start with a positive sentence.
That was good.
A positive sentence just means something does happen. It is a yes, this is true statement. How do we build it?
The basic structure is incredibly easy.
Yeah.
You take the subject and you simply add the base verb.
The subject is the person doing the action, right? Like I or you.
Yes. And the base verb is just the simple action word we just learned, like wake, work, study, or eat.
Okay.
You do not need to add any complicated endings to it.
Let's look at some examples so our listeners can hear how simple it is.
Please do.
If the subject is I and the verb is wake up, the sentence is I wake up at 7. If the subject is you and the verb is work, the sentence is you work every day.
Perfect.
If the subject is we and the verb is study, the sentence is we study English together. If the subject is they and the verb is eat, the sentence is they eat lunch at noon.
Those are perfect. Did you notice the pattern?
What pattern?
When the subject is I, you, we, or they, the verb does not change at all. It stays in its basic natural form. I wake up, you work, we study, they eat. It is beautifully simple.
It is simple, but I know there is a trap waiting for us. There is always a trap in English grammar.
There really is.
And I hear beginners fall into this trap all the time. It is a trap about the letter S. Can you explain the famous S rule?
I am so glad you brought this up. This is, without a doubt, one of the most important rules for an English learner to master.
Okay, no pressure.
If you can master this rule, your English will instantly sound much more professional and fluent.
I am listening closely. What is the rule?
The rule is this. When the subject of your sentence is he, she, or it, the verb cannot stay in its base form. You must add the letter S, or sometimes ES, to the end of the verb.
Okay, let me make sure I understand. If I am talking about myself, the subject is I. I say I wake up. No S.
Correct.
But if I'm talking about my sister, the subject is she. So I cannot say she wake up. I must say she wakes up. Wakes, with a strong S sound at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's do another one to practice. If you're talking to me, the subject is you. You say you work in an office, no S.
But if I'm talking about my brother, the subject is he. So I must say he works in an office, works, with an S.
You've got it. I like to teach this by giving it a mental hook, a way to remember it easily. I call it the VIP rule.
The VIP rule, like a very important person.
Exactly. In the present simple tense, the pronouns he, she, and it are very important pronouns.
Oh, I like that.
Because they're VIPs, they get to wear a special VIP badge. And that badge is the letter S. They always wear their badge.
I love that. He, she, and it are VIPs, so they get the S badge. She wakes up at 6, he works in a bank, it sleeps on the sofa. That makes it so much easier to remember.
It requires practice, of course.
Yeah,
Your mouth is not used to making that S sound at the end of the verb. You have to train your muscles.
that's very true.
But if you remember the VIP rule, you will catch your own mistakes.
Practice makes perfect. Always give the S badge to he, she, and it. Now, what if we want to talk about something that does not happen?
Negatives.
Right. What about the negative structure? A negative sentence is a no statement, like I do not do this action. How do we build that?
To make a negative sentence in the present simple, the main verb needs a little bit of help. We have to introduce helper words.
Helper words. Okay.
If the subject is I, you, we, or they, we use the helper words do not. We put do not right before the main action verb.
So instead of I drink coffee, I would say I do not drink coffee.
Yes. However, in spoken English, native speakers are a bit lazy.
We really are.
We like to speak quickly. So we almost always push those two words together. Do not becomes a contraction, don't.
Don't. Yes, you hear that everywhere. I don't, you don't, we don't, they don't.
Let's hear some examples in full sentences. I don't drink coffee in the evening. We don't work on Sundays. They don't group dinner every day. Sometimes they go to a restaurant.
That is very clear. But my alarm bells are ringing again. What about our VIPs?
Good memory.
What about he, she, and it? Do they use don't as well?
No, they do not. Remember, he, she, and it are special. They need their S badge.
Right.
So instead of using do not, we use the helper words does not. Notice how the word does has that S sound at the end.
Ah, I hear it. Does not. And do we push those words together too?
Yes, we do. Does not become the contraction doesn't.
Doesn't.
Doesn't. Okay, let me try some examples. She doesn't drive a car.
Yeah.
He doesn't eat breakfast before 9 a.m. The printer doesn't work.
Stop right there. You just did something brilliant without even realizing it.
Wait, I did.
You did. And you avoided the biggest, most common trap in all of beginner English grammar. What did I avoid?
Think about your sentence, she doesn't drive. What happened to the S badge on the main verb drive?
Wait a minute. In a positive sentence, I would say, she drives. I put the S on drives,
Yes.
but when I made it negative, I said she doesn't drive. I didn't say she doesn't drives. The S disappeared from the main verb.
Exactly. And that is the trap. So many learners say she doesn't works or he doesn't sleeps. They try to put the S badge on the main verb, and on the helper word.
But why does the main verb lose its S?
Because the word doesn't is a thief.
The thief?
Yes. Doesn't is a very greedy helper word. When doesn't enters the sentence, it steals the S badge from the main verb.
Oh, wow.
It takes the S for itself.
Huh.
Because doesn't already has the S sound, the main verb is free. It goes completely back to its normal base form.
That is a fantastic analogy. The helper word steals the S, so you only ever need one S in the sentence.
Correct.
It is either on the main verb in a positive sentence, like she works, or it gets stolen by doesn't in a negative sentence, like she doesn't work.
Precisely. Let's say that out loud for the listeners to reinforce it. The correct way is, she doesn't work.
Right.
The incorrect way is, she doesn't works. Never let the thief and the main verb both wear the badge.
The thief steals the S. I will never forget that. Okay, we have positive sentences, we have negative sentences. What about questions?
Questions.
If I want to ask my friend about their routine, how do I build a question in the present simple?
We use the exact same helper words, but we move them to the very front of the sentence. We use do or does as the first word.
So if the subject is I, you, we, or they, I start the question with do. For example, do you wake up early on weekends? Or do they work in this building?
Yes. And if the subject is our VIP is he, she, or do, we start the question with does. Because it is a VIP, the helper word has the S badge.
Got it.
For example, does she cook dinner every night? Or does he exercise in the morning?
And notice again, because does is at the front of the sentence, it acts like the thief again. It steals the S. The question is, does she cook, not does she cooks.
You are a fast learner. Yes, the thief strikes again in questions. The main verb is always naked, back to its base form, when does or doesn't is in the sentence.
Now, if someone asks me one of these questions, how do I answer them quickly? Like, I don't want to repeat the whole sentence back to them.
You can use short answers. They are very polite and very natural.
Okay.
If someone asks you, do you work here? You don't need to say, yes, I work here. You can simply say the positive short answer, yes, I do. Or the negative short answer, no, I don't.
And if they ask about a VIP, like, does your sister study English?
The positive short answer is, yes, she does. And the negative short answer is, no, she doesn't.
Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Why, this is giving me so much confidence. I feel like I can actually have a conversation now.
You absolutely can. But before we move away from grammar, I want to bring up two very specific mistakes that we see constantly with learners at the A2 level.
Okay.
These are habits you want to break early.
I am ready. What is the first common mistake?
The first mistake is using the word am together with the main action verb. I hear this all the time.
Oh, really?
A student will say, I am wake up at 7, or I am work in a bank.
Oh, I have definitely heard friends say that. Why does that happen, and why is it incorrect?
It happens because learners know that am means I exist or I am here, so they try to attach it to everything they do. But in English, am is a form of the verb to be.
Right. I am, you are, he is.
Exactly. And the rule is we do not use be verbs together with main action verbs in the present simple tense.
Oh, I see.
They clash. They fight each other. A present simple sentence is just the subject and the main action.
So it is just I wake up, just the subject and the action, no am in the middle.
Correct. Keep it simple. I wake up, I work. You only ever use am with an action if you are talking about something happening right exactly this second, like I am speaking right now.
But that's a different tense.
Right. That is a completely different grammar rule called present continuous. But for daily routines and habits, banish the word am from your sentences.
Banish the am. Keep the routine simple, just the person and the action. So, what is the second common mistake?
The second mistake happens when people talk about returning to their house at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
They will say, after work, I go to home.
I go to home. Okay, I understand why they do that. We just learned I go to work and I go to school. We use the word to show direction. So why doesn't it work for our house?
It is a frustrating exception in the English language, honestly. The word home is very special in English grammar.
The special how?
It often acts more like an adverb of place rather than a physical building. Because it is a special, safe place, it does not need a prepositional path to get there. It does not need the word to before it.
So we never say to home.
Never. We never say go to home, drive to home, or walk to home. You simply remove the to. You say go home, drive home, or walk home.
But we still use to for everything else.
Yes. You go to work, you go to the supermarket, you go to the gym, you go to Paris. But you just go home. Just memorize it as a special rule for the place where you sleep.
Go home. I like that. It feels faster to say anyway.
It does.
All right, let's take stock of where we are. We have the core vocabulary words. We have the present simple grammar rules. We know how to handle the VIPs and the S-thief. We know how to avoid common mistakes.
We've covered a lot.
But right now, if I describe my day, it still feels a little flat. I wake up, I work, I go home, doesn't have any flavor. How do I add detail?
To make your English sound natural, smooth, and detailed, you need to add context. And the best way to add context to a routine is to talk about how often you do things.
Okay.
This brings us to a wonderful set of words called adverbs of frequency.
Adverbs of frequency. That sounds like a very complicated grammar term. What does it actually mean?
Do not let the term scare you. They are simply words that answer the question, how many times?
Oh, that's easy.
Not every day is exactly the same. You probably don't eat the exact same breakfast every single morning of your entire life. Adverbs of frequency let you express that variety.
That's true.
Let's look at them like a timeline or percentage scale, from 100% down to 0%.
I love a good scale. Let's start at the very top, 100%.
If you do something 100% of the time every single day without fail, no exceptions, you use the word always.
Always. For example, I always brush my teeth. It happens every day.
Exactly. Now let's drop down to about 90%.
Yeah.
You do this thing almost every day. Maybe out of 30 days in a month, you do it 28 times. For 90%, you use the word usually.
Usually. I usually drink tea in the morning. Maybe one morning I ran out of tea, so I didn't, but 90% of the time I do.
A quick pronunciation note for usually, actually.
Oh.
It has a soft, buzzing Z sound in the middle, like the S in the word measure. Usually.
Usually. That is a great tip. Okay, let's go down to 70%. This happens frequently, but not almost every day.
For 70%, use the word often.
Often. Now wait, is it pronounced often with the T or often without the T?
You will hear native speakers say both. Yeah, in North America, it is very common to drop the T completely and say often. But many British and some American speakers say often. Both are 100% correct. Pick whichever is easier for your mouth.
Good to know. I often go to the gym after work, okay? Dropping down to 50%. It's a coin flip. Half the time, yes, half the time, no.
For 50%, use the word sometimes.
Sometimes. He sometimes cooks dinner on Fridays.
Let's drop lower. 20%. This is not common. It only happens a little bit, maybe once a month. For 20%, use the word rarely.
Rarely. We rarely eat at expensive restaurants.
And finally, the bottom of the scale, 0%. It never happens. Not even one time in your whole life you use the word never.
Never. I never smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Okay, these words are incredibly useful. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never.
They really are.
But here's the big question. Where do I put these words when I build my sentence? Do they go at the beginning, at the end?
There is a very strict word order rule for adverbs of frequency. And the rule is this. These adverbs must come before the main action verb. They squeeze right in between the subject and the verb.
Squeeze in the middle. Let's test this. My subject is I. My main verb is eat. My adverb is usually. So I squeeze it in the middle. I usually eat breakfast. Usually comes before eat.
Perfect. Let's look at another one. Subject, she. Verb, studies, with the VIPS badge. Adverb, always. Sentence, she always studies in the library. The word always comes right before the action studies.
They often walk home. Often is before walk. It is a very consistent rule, but English loves exceptions. Is there an exception?
Yes, there was one major exception. Do you remember the verb to be that we talked about earlier? Words like am, is, and are?
Yes, the ones we ban from our normal action sentences.
Exactly. Well, if your sentence does not have a normal action and instead it uses a to be verb as the main verb, the rule flips upside down. The adverb must come after the to be verb.
Okay, let me visualize this. My subject is I. My verb is am. My adverb is always. I am tired. So I put the adverb after am. I am always tired.
You got it. Am is the verb. Always comes after it. Another example. She is usually busy is the verb. Usually comes after it. They are rarely late. Are is the verb. Rarely comes after it.
So before action verbs, but after to be verbs, that is a great rule to practice. Now, I feel like I can talk about how often I do things, but I still need help connecting one action to the next action. How do I make my story flow like a river instead of jumping around?
That is where we introduce the secret weapon of fluent speakers, time connectors.
Time connectors. Words that connect time.
Exactly. These are transition words. They tell the listener the order in which things happen. They're words like first, then, after that, next, later, and finally.
You know, I like to use an analogy here when I think about time connectors.
Compare it.
Imagine you are building a brick wall for a house. The vocabulary words like wake up, go to work, relax, those are your solid bricks. The grammar rules the present simple, that is the blueprint showing you where the bricks go. But if you just stack bricks on top of each other with nothing in between, a strong wind will knock the wall down. It is fragile. It sounds choppy and broken.
That is a wonderful analogy. What is missing from the wall?
The mortar, the cement, the glue. Time connectors are the glue that holds the sentences together. Without them, you sound like a robot reading a grocery list. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I go to work. It is correct, but it is not human.
But when you add the glue, suddenly you are telling a story. Let's listen to a short example paragraph. Notice how the time connectors guide the listener through the sequence of events.
Okay, I will read a short morning routine. Listen carefully for the glue words. First, I wake up at 7 a.m. Then I get ready for work. After that, I usually have a quick breakfast in the kitchen. Next, I go to work by bus. Finally, I start work at 9 a.m.
Did you hear the difference? It is a night and day transformation. First, then after that, next, finally. They act as signposts. They tell the person listening to you exactly where they are in your day.
And notice that I took a tiny pause after them when speaking. First, pause. I wake up. It gives the sentence a beautiful rhythm.
It truly does.
Yeah.
We have given you all the tools. You have the bricks, the blueprints, and the glue. You have the vocabulary, the grammar, the adverbs, and the connectors. Now it is time to see it all put together in a real-world setting.
Yes. It is time for you, our listener, to actively participate. Before we quiz you, we are going to perform a sample dialogue. This is a conversation between two coworkers, Emma and Tom. They are standing near the coffee machine in the office, chatting about their hornings.
As we act this out, do not just listen to the story. Listen to the mechanics. Notice how Emma and Tom ask each other questions using do. Notice how they use adverbs of frequency, like usually. And notice how they naturally use time connectors.
I will play the role of Emma.
And I will play the role of Tom. Let's begin the conversation. Hi, Tom. Good morning. What time do you usually wake up?
Oh, hi, Emma. I usually wake up at 6:30. How about you?
I wake up a bit later, around 7:30. Then I get ready for work.
Let's pause the role play right here for a moment. I want to highlight what Tom just did. He answered Emma's question with a basic fact. I wake up around 7:00, but he did not stop there.
Right, I wanted to keep it going.
You wanted to keep the conversation flowing, so he used our glue word. He said, Then I get ready for work.
Yes, the word then connects the waking up to the getting ready. It makes my character sound very conversational and natural instead of just answering like I'm in a police interrogation. Let's continue the dialogue.
Do you have breakfast before work, Emma?
Yes, I do. I usually have eggs and coffee. After that, I check my emails.
Nice. I usually have cereal. What time do you start work?
I start work at 9 o'clock sharp.
Let's pause again. Notice Emma's question. Wait, sorry. My question. What time do you start work? I did not ask. What time do you go to work?
I wanted to know when she sits at her desk. So I used the correct phrase, start work. And notice how I built the question. I used the helper word do because the subject was you.
And Emma answered with a short, confident sentence. I start work at 9 o'clock. This is exactly how native English speakers talk in the real world. It doesn't need to be poetry. It just needs to be clear, simple, and connected.
Which means, well, it is finally time for the quiz.
The quiz. If you are listening to this right now, whether you are walking the dog, doing the dishes, or sitting on the train, we want you to interact with us.
We're going to ask you 4 questions directly. After we ask the question, we are going to pause and leave a few seconds of silence.
Do not just think of the answer in your head. The magic happens when you speak. We want you to physically move your mouth and say your answer out loud to us. Use complete sentences. Use the present simple.
Are you ready? Take a breath. Here is question 1. What time do you usually wake up?
Take a second to think.
Think about your answer. Start with, I usually wake up at. Did you remember the linking sound? Wake up. Try saying it one more time.
Great job. Now think about the very next thing you do. Here is question 2. What do you do first in the morning?
Speak out loud.
For this one, try using our time connector first. You could say, first, I get ready, or first, I take a shower. Say your action out loud right now.
Excellent. Question 3 has 2 parts. Think about your morning meal. Do you eat breakfast? And what do you usually have?
Go ahead.
For the first part, did you use a short answer, yes, I do, or no, I don't? For the second part, did you remember to use the verb have? I usually have toast, or I usually have tea. Say your sentence out loud.
You are doing fantastic. Here is our final question for the quiz. Let's jump to the end of the day. Question 4. What time do you go to bed?
Say it now.
Remember the phrase, I go to bed at. Did you say your time out loud? Did you remember that going to bed is just getting under the blankets, not falling asleep?
If you spoke out loud during that quiz, you should be very proud of yourself. Speaking out loud to yourself or to an audio program is the absolute secret to getting better. You are training the muscles in your mouth to speak English without hesitating.
Before we wrap up our deep dive today, we want to leave you with a few very practical speaking tips. These are things you can do tomorrow to make sure you never forget what we learned today.
The first tip is to talk about your routine out loud to yourself every single morning. Seriously. When you are in the bathroom brushing your teeth, look in the mirror and think, I'm getting ready. When you are pouring your coffee, say out loud, I usually have coffee for breakfast.
Even if you are alone, just speak. Even if you repeat the exact same sentences every single day, doing this builds massive confidence. It moves the English from your brain into your mouth. You will memorize the vocabulary naturally without ever needing to study a textbook.
The second tip is to force yourself to use time connectors. Whenever you tell a story, try to consciously insert first, then, and next. It will make your English sound organized and mature.
And our third tip involves the device you are probably holding right now, your phone. Use the voice memo or voice recorder app on your smartphone. Sit down in a quiet room, hit record, and talk about your daily routine for just 60 seconds.
This is a brilliant strategy. When you listen back to the recording, you become your own teacher. You can hear your own pronunciation. You can check your grammar. Did you remember the S badge for he, she, and it? Did you use the thief doesn't correctly? Listen to the audio, find your small mistakes, and then try it again the next day. It is a powerful way to document your progress.
It's like having a mirror for your voice. In fact, that tip leads us perfectly into our final challenge for you today. At the end of our deep dives, we like to give our listeners a task. Today, we are giving you the 1-minute challenge.
What is the 1-minute challenge?
Here is the challenge. As soon as this audio finishes, as soon as you hear us say goodbye, do not open social media, do not put on another song, immediately open the timer on your phone, set it for 1 minute, hit start, and summarize your daily routine out loud to the empty room.
Try to keep talking for the full 60 seconds without stopping. Use your new vocabulary words like get ready, take a break, and relax. Use the present simple tense correctly. And most importantly, use your glue. Connect the whole 60-second story with first, Then, after that, and finally,
Do not worry if you make a mistake. Do not stop and apologize to yourself. Just keep speaking. The goal is flow, not perfection. The more you practice describing your own life, the more fluent you will become when someone asks you about it in the real world. Consistency is everything.
before we say our final goodbye, I want to leave you with one final thought to reflect on today.
What is that?
Think about the nature of a routine. You repeat your routine every single day. You wake up every day, you eat every day, you go to sleep every day. Much of our life is made up of repeated ordinary actions. But consider this. By simply choosing to describe those exact same ordinary actions out loud in English every morning, your daily habits transform. They become the ultimate free classroom for mastering fluency.
Wow, your everyday habits become your classroom.
Yes, you do not need to travel to an English-speaking country. You do not need to pay for an expensive language school just to practice speaking. Your own life, your own bedroom, your own kitchen, that is your lesson. You carry the classroom with you every single day.
Your own life is your lesson. I absolutely love that. Use your day to learn English. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel empowered and much more confident talking about your daily routine. Keep practicing, keep speaking out loud, and keep building your English skills brick by brick. Remember, every single morning when that alarm goes off, it is a new chance to practice. Wake up tomorrow, open your eyes, and say to yourself, first, I wake up. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. And good luck with your 1-minute challenge. We know you can do it.